2025 has been a year full of gaming censorship and crackdowns. In spite of that, we have seen continued growth on multiple platforms, including Patreon. After a 10% increase in 2025, Patreon now has almost 9,000 active adult gaming projects. I can't even imagine how much higher the numbers would be if Patreon didn't find new flavors to censor and purge each year. As easy as it may be to just blame Visa and MasterCard, at the end of the day, Jack Conte, the CEO of Patreon, is personally and legally responsible for the decisions that Patreon chooses to make. That includes deciding which expressions of sexuality to tolerate and which expressions not to tolerate. Like I've said before, 2025 has been a difficult year for just about everyone in the video game industry. So while Patreon continues to represent one of the best ways for developers to create an adult game and build a community around that game, it is increasingly unclear how long that will last. Until then, you can find the links to every game I cover in this video on my Patreon. Holding at number 10, we have My Pig Princess. This fantasy slice-of-life romance continues to be increasingly popular. It had the greatest percentage of growth of all of the games in the top 10 in 2024, and again in 2025. This furry visual novel also has the potential to contend for Game of the Year once it releases on Steam. As for how long that will take, it's gonna be a while. The gorgeous hand-drawn art makes this a game that will take a long time to finish, but so far, it is worth the wait. My Pig Princess is available for PC, Mac, Linux, and Android on their Patreon and itch.io. Falling from number 7 to number 9, we have NLT and Symphony of the Serpent. Down almost 10% from 2024, it is not clear to me what is causing this decline. There are new builds coming out twice a month, and the sequel to 2021's Adult Game of the Year Treasure of Nadia and 2024's The Genesis Order is well on its way to completion. It is possible that the game's shift in flavor focus could be impacting the popularity of the series, but that is increasingly a problem with many games as we see more and more censorship. I do like a lot of what I've seen so far with Symphony of the Serpent, and I'm looking forward to the eventual Steam release. Well, as long as Gabe allows it. Symphony of the Serpent is available for PC and Mac on their Patreon. Holding at number 8, we have Anthro Heat. Furry and LGBTQ games have been some of the hardest censored flavors over the past few years, which is why it is so awesome to see this VR optional title so close to its Steam release. With highly customizable characters and interactions, Anthro Heat has always had great potential, even if some of that potential may have been curtailed by ongoing censorship demands. We'll just have to see what the final evolution of Anthro Heat will bring. Available for PC on Steam and their Patreon. Rising from number 9 to number 7, we have Wildlife. This is another very popular furry game, and they are promising a full Steam release in the second half of 2026, with a sandbox mode releasing in 2027 as a free DLC. How realistic is this? I have no idea, but I've had fun with the many different versions of this open world action adventure that I have played over the years. I just hope that whatever we do see next year isn't rushed to meet this deadline. Wildlife is available for PC on Steam and Patreon. Holding at number 6, we have Dr. Pancake and Being a Dick. The Adult Game of the Year for 2020 continues its quest to completion with the release of Episode 11 in March. The next Steam release, Season 3, is still planned to include Episodes 9 through 12 and should come out in 2026. Season 4 has been announced as the final season and conclusion to the Being a Dick saga. Being a Dick is available for PC, SteamOS, and Linux on Steam and GOG, with a Mac version on their Patreon. Dropping from number 2 to number 5, we have Turbo Driver and WickedWhims. There are a lot of potential reasons to explain the double-digit decline of this incredible suite of mods for The Sims 4. It has been 11 years since The Sims 4 came out, and I think the announcement in 2024 that there were no plans to develop The Sims 5 helped cause a boom in popularity. However, since then, we've seen EA acquired by some of the least contentious people of the world, with the Sims team releasing a statement that The Sims will always be a space where you can express your authentic self. I suppose it just comes down to how you define authentic. WickedWhims is available for PC, Linux, and Mac on their Patreon, itch.io, and their website. Sliding one spot to number 4, we have Meshed VR and Virt-A-Mate. Recovering from a Steam ban is an arduous process, and the decision to move from Virt-A-Mate to Virt-A-Mate 2 is finally starting to show results. We've seen 2 builds of Virt-A-Mate 2 this year, and while things are still limited, it is more user-friendly, and it is a massive visual improvement over the original Virt-A-Mate. Available for PC on their Patreon. Rising from number 5 to number 3, we have Whole House. This parody simulation continues to gain new members with an aggressive release schedule, new characters, and an increased focus on voice acting. Up almost 30% from last year, it is clear that this combination of free and paywalled features is resonating with the consumers. Whole House is available for PC, Mac, Linux, and Android on their Patreon. Rising from number 4 to number 2, we have Project Helios and Operation Lovecraft Fallen Doll. Unlike Whole House, there is not much free access to Operation Lovecraft. There is a free demo available on Steam from a few years ago, but access to the Steam beta requires a certain level of ongoing financial commitment on Patreon. Visually, this game looks great, but it still feels grindy and way too close to a mobile gacha game for my comfort. However, it is clear that this anime-style Monster Mash has a devoted following that will hopefully bring us to a completed version at some point in the future. Operation Lovecraft Fallen Doll is available for PC on Steam and their Patreon in both VR and non-VR versions. And at number 1, we have the undisputed heavyweight champion of adult games, Summertime Saga. We've seen a huge increase in new builds this year, and there now appears to be a clear path to completion on the horizon. Unfortunately, we've only seen a 3% increase since 2024, and Summertime Saga has fallen out of the top 10 overall Patreons for the first time ever. So while I am confident that Summertime Saga will finish, I am uncertain if Patreon will still allow adult games before we have a chance to see that finish. Summertime Saga is available for PC, Linux, Mac, and Android on their Patreon. There you have it. So, in spite of everything, we are continuing to see adult games grow on Patreon. This is the first time in 4 years that we've seen no games move into or out of the top 10. As Patreon has continued to grow, adult games have become a much smaller part of Patreon's overall business. There has been an increasingly tenuous relationship between adult game developers and Patreon since 2016. The increased crackdowns and censorship of 2025 are showing us that it may no longer be a question of if Patreon will totally remove adult content, but a question of when. I'd love to be wrong, especially since I'm on Patreon, but we live in an increasingly uncertain world. So let's make the most of all of the games and flavors we can while we can. And until next time, no shaming, just gaming.